Hope you're doing as good as I'm doing today. Physically, I'm putting it at an 8. I feel just as good as I did yesterday, which is a fantastic feeling. Everything moved extremely well. I hit all my sets on bench, and I didn't really start to even get to struggle as much as I thought I would until the last set. But it was like one of those nice, slow and controlled reps where you have it. There's no kickback from the weight. You just kind of take your time and just lock it out as you want. Mentally, 8.5, honestly. Way more homies here tonight, and it's just been a great day. I've gotten a lot more productive lately, getting my schoolwork done and working a little bit more, making enough money to survive off of for my own personal sake, while still making it to the gym on time. And I love it. It's a great feeling. Today was really, really good. Tomorrow is going to be one of the probably one of the best rest days I've had in a while. It's Halloween. Just happened on accident. It's meant to be a rest day tomorrow. I didn't plan on it. And I'm probably going to go out, just have fun for a night, and just sleep in the next day. It's just been a good day. So something I've been thinking about that I think a lot of people are way too random with is the consistency at which they add weights to their maxes in their programming. Now, this can either be maxing out in general and just trying to go for a PR at the end of a training block, or it can be adding 5 pounds to your max that's just written down somewhere and just adding 5 pounds to that max every time you go through a full training block without actually PRing. That's what I typically like to do. So I'll get into what I personally feel is best. Not best, just a good way to do it. This is personally my best way of adding weight to my maxes consistently without doing too much to where it hurts me physically. And then I'll get into what I think the more general objective answer could be that might hit home with other people that don't feel the same way that I do. But the way that I do it is I do a kind of progressive overload type of programming, and I've just recently started doing higher set volumes at like a certain weight rather than doing a bunch of warm-up sets, one top set and then a bunch of deload sets. I really don't like the deload sets that much anymore. My form's gotten really good, and I just really don't think I need them at this point strength-wise. And I feel stronger in general when I do my sorry, I'm looking at directions. I'm going to the airport right now. I feel stronger doing efficient maximal set ranges rather than worrying about hitting one specific top set that might not work out the way I want to. I want to hit the weights I'm hitting consistently and comfortably. So I'll do my first 2 weeks, go between 65 and 75%, depending on if I'm doing pause reps or normal reps, or if I'm doing the Olympic lift first, or if I'm doing the power lift first. There's a lot of conditions and different variables that go into play, but primarily, first 2 weeks are 65 to 75%, and then second 2 weeks are 75 to 85, and the last 2 weeks are 85 to 95. Now, I go up to 95% only on 2 days in my entire program, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, that's way too heavy to even try to be doing. It seems kind of counterintuitive to say, oh, you shouldn't PR that much, but when you add 5 pounds every training block, or at least attempt to, and then go up to 95%, it kind of seems like I'm PRing. And the reason I do it is, one, the max I normally have written down typically isn't my all-time PR. It's not like all the strength I've got in me. And I personally like that more because it always leaves some strength left over without making me too exhausted or put too much energy into one specific lift. So, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought a little bit. I'm driving on the highway, and it's a little scary to talk while maneuvering. But essentially, I like building up to one heavy week, I'll do 2 weeks where I do 85 to 95% for the sake of doing one normal week and then one pause week. Because I think the pause week kind of lets me deload a little bit, and it's really good to feel for your form and your confidence under those certain percentages. Because like I don't like just jumping from like normal repping 75% straight to 85, because it's just in the past it's put too much strain on my body. So that's what I mean when I say it. I've found the most reliability in this kind of training. 1 week doing normal reps, another week doing pause reps, and then I can increase my weights percentage wise. And like in my past experience with it, I've gone a full year without plateauing before, and this was like very recent. Like I only plateaued like once or twice, and it wasn't even because of the weights, it's because I got injured. And I had to fix my program according to that. But again, makes you better, unfortunately. You know, you got to get humbled sometimes. So the way that I like to do it is I never add more than 5 pounds at a time. No matter how confident you are, the way I think about it is weightlifting or any sort of lifting is meant to be a long-term healthy sport. You know, if you're going to be a person that competes and like they want, and you care more about the competition than the longevity, then, you know, go for your max lifetime PR when you're 25. You know, like all the better to you. I just don't like that form of training because it's so easy to get injured, and it can, again, like I hate the idea of plateauing in my 20s forever. You know, I feel like I can constantly have new weights in me until I'm in my like almost like late 30s to possibly 40, you know, and I want to do this kind of lifting forever. Like I get it, when my body starts deteriorating, I got to take it easy and I got to lay back, but I'm not even like, I won't be mad because that's just that's my body, you know, it's not my strength. And so if I run out of strength by the time I'm 25, that hurts so much personally. I'd rather get to chase this passion as long as I can because I love it. So I always do 5 pounds at a time because, again, it's just, you know, if you think about it, you know, if you have like 500 weeks in, like, I don't know the specific math, but like it's like over 500 weeks in 10 years. So multiply that by 7, whatever that comes out to. I can't think about it in my head right now. But, you know, 7 times 500, like over 500. And that's how many training sessions you should have, or potential training sessions in the next 10 years. I've been logging my workouts for like almost 3 years now. I did have a big injury in the middle of it that took about 2 months of time out of it. But still, that's like not a ton of sessions, and I just passed 400 sessions since logging it, and it's only been that long. So you have a lot of time to put that effort and energy into it and add the weight later on. So I don't see a point in rushing it, you know. Otherwise, I guess the more all-around answer, because there's always going to be people who prefer to PR to know exactly where they are, and so they don't have to play with it. And again, I know a lot of people compete and they love competing, and that's all great, and you should if you want to do that, and that's what drives your passion. But the way I see it is, it's kind of like I say with a lot of other things, it's kind of got to be up to you when it comes to trial and error. I can add 5 pounds to a theoretical max about once every 6 weeks, something like that. And then I train it for the full 6 weeks after that until trying to add weight again, because I have enough time to work with low weight, work up to medium weight, and then the heavy weight, mixing in pause reps for kind of like a deload in the middle of every other week. So that's just, I feel very comfortable adding weight at that pace, and I feel like I never plateau. And I just love the idea of getting to rep your max at some point because you stayed consistent and you didn't have to full like lifetime PR and put your life in danger for it, as exaggerative as that might seem. But you know, if you're gonna do your PRs to see how much weight you can be adding exactly, you got to take it by ear and really feel what is best for you. I found what's best for me, and so, you know, I know people that'll go through 12 weeks of training and then they'll try 1 PR or 2 PR, because like the people that I know personally that do this kind of thing will only PR snatch and clean and jerk and nothing else. And so after 12 weeks, they'll just do 2 days, one day after the other, where they'll PR those lifts so that they have maximum energy. Because it's really hard to do more than one PR at once. I've learned that the hard way personally. I know you can train around it, and that's what you got to do for competition, because you're meant to train to PR twice in one day. But however you want to do it, it takes longer training blocks to get to earn a PR rather than earning a 5-pound jump in your reps and sets throughout those blocks of training. So again, I'm not trying to rush it by adding 5 pounds every time. I just feel safer and more confident in this kind of training. And again, if you PR once every even 12 weeks, some people go like 6 months, because you start plateauing really bad to where you have to add more and more time to your training block to make up for it. And they'll hit their PR, and if you go up 20 pounds at once, that's great. It shows that you've done incredible progress. But you got to remember that even in your lighter weeks, you're jumping up like at least 5%. And at 5% seems low, but it can be a lot. Like 5% of my squats can be 35, 40 pounds sometimes. It's a huge, huge jump. Or no, not 40. I think it's like 25 pounds for 5%. And it just continues to increase as you get stronger. So if you're going to PR, just know that you should take a little bit more time in your training blocks, I think, in order to really earn the PR so that you can build up to it safely and not put your joints and everything at risk, especially at younger ages, because you want to start training your strength when you're younger, but the harder you go when you're young, it's just so much more likely that you can get fucked up later on. So whatever you choose to do, make sure you enjoy it, make sure you feel safe, and best of all, make sure you feel confident. You gotta want to love the increase of weight and really want to strive to hit it. Even though I'm only increasing 5 pounds and I'm only trying to hit that new heavy weight at the end of my cycle after 6 weeks, I love it every time. I love the build up. I love it feels like I'm gathering serotonin for over a month, and then it all just explodes at once, and it can last weeks. I'll ride that shit forever. But that's just the way I see it. Go about it the way you want. Everybody's going to lift the best when they're the most confident in their own training program. So, regardless if this helped or if you disagree, whatever, just do your thing, I guess. But that's all I got.